wonderful Graham from Health Tabernacle. So this is actually, what is this now, our third with you, Graham? Our third show with you, right? Oh, I think you froze a little bit. Let's see if he comes back on. Oh, there you are.
Go.
There you are. So is this our third, right?
I don't know if you can hear me. That cut out pretty good.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? This is hysterical.
Oh my goodness.
Are you there?
I'm here. Let me,
right.
You know what I'm going to do, Francine?
Yes.
Here we go.
So I'm gonna, while Graham gets himself adjusted. So today is, I believe this is our third show with Graham. And if you have missed it, you can actually use the hashtag Detox Your Life and Thrive. And you will actually see the other videos that we've done with Graham. You don't want to miss them. And I hope you guys have your pen and paper ready today, because Graham always provides amazing value. And for those of you that don't know, again, my name is Francine Brown. I started this show this year because I wanted to show others that there is more in life and that you don't have to be stuck, whether it's financially, with your relationships, your health, no matter where it is in your life, you can get unstuck, and there's steps that you can take, and there's people around that can help us get unstuck and make our lives better, right? So we don't have to be, I guess, status quo, or just existing, or just, stuck in that daily grind. And if you guys want to know a little bit about my story, you're welcome to go visit my blog at francinebrown.com, and you can read it under my story. But today we are bringing on the wonderful Mr. Graham from Health Tabernacle. And I have to tell you guys what this man did. Okay. So it was yesterday, right, Graham?
Sunday.
Sunday. So on Sunday, Graham ran a full marathon, which is 26.2 miles, with no training. So, like, dude, like, oh my gosh, like 26.2 miles, that is sick. That's sick. So you have to, and you did it for a cause too, and it's something that is near and dear to my heart, and I know it's very important to your family too. And you did it to help free kids from the sex trade, and moms that need homes, moms that are impoverished in Nicaragua, and you ran that to raise money. And dude, that is so stinking awesome, but with no training. So I'm just gonna let you take this over and tell us about this and what you did, and kind of a little bit about what we just talked about too, about what you did to other runners. And oh my gosh, dude, I'm so excited.
Sure. And I want to tie it back in for some of you that are listening to this and thinking like, yeah, good for him. Well, how does that apply to me? I'm going to tie it all in so that you can, so that it has some value for you, and how what I did or what I achieved can apply to your life. So just like a few disclaimers or prenumbers to what happens. So I own a wellness center in northern Pennsylvania, and we do structural realignment and some anti-aging things, working with the cells in the body and helping people to recreate healthy cells, which make healthy organs and healthy bodies. And so what I wanted to do, and I've been known to do this sometimes, if I do some extreme things to kind of push and see and put what I do to the test. So that way I'm practicing what I preach, right?
Right.
So about a week ago, I made a last minute decision that I was going to go and do this marathon. And originally I was thinking, I'm just going to walk this thing. I just want to do it like it's just a long hike. That's all it is. And as we got closer and closer to the day, of course, which I didn't do, the only prep that I did for this, I literally last Monday hopped on an assault bike, which if you're familiar with an assault bike is, it's where you're pedaling and you're pumping at the same time. And I did that for I did that for like 30 minutes. I wanted to try and do 10 minutes or 10 miles in under 30 minutes. And I did it in like 29 minutes and 54 seconds.
Wow.
So it's about pacing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So coming into this, I just wanted to kind of go do it, have fun, walk with part of the team over at King's Ransom, and raise some money to fight sex trafficking. And as we were getting closer, I just kind of kept feeling this thing of like, you know, I had this self-talk going on of like, dude, you know, you're going to run part of this, right? Like, you know, there's no way you can't jog or run part of this. Like, you got people running past you. I was an athlete growing up, and so I love competition. I love all that kind of stuff. So the part of me was, hey, I want to hang out and talk. And then there was this other side of me that was like, no, I want to crush this thing. And to add some interesting flavor into this, what happens is when you run a marathon, there's actually a bus that goes behind it's like the end pace. And if you're not ahead of that bus, the bus picks you up and takes you up ahead, and you're not officially doing the marathon. It's giving you like, you know, like several miles off. They'll take you like several miles up so that way you can finish before the time limit of 8 hours. So I went into this thing of like, I want to have fun, but I also, there's no way I'm getting on that freaking bus. It's not happening. So we started off walking this thing, zero prep, zero training. I just wanted to see what an ABC body could do, which is advanced biostructural correction, which I've had for years now. So I've untwisted my spine. My body functions very well, and I don't notice it on a daily basis. I wanted to see what that could do, and just proper nutrition and maintaining with what we do at Health Tabernacle, which I also receive on myself, right? So go into this thing. We start out, and I'm walking with my friends, talking. I'm like, come on, guys, let's keep this pace up. And I'm like, let's jog a little bit, right? And, you know, of course, there's hundreds of people just blowing past you like they're on a mission to go run this thing. And I just couldn't help myself. And I said, guys, I'm gonna go for it. So I started taking off, and I was jogging a little bit, and then power walking a little bit, jogging a bit, running a bit. One thing I did do that 98% of the people did not do, most of the people walk the hills. I decided I was going to run the hills.
Woo! Feel the burn.
I ran the hills at, I forget, it was like the 8, 9, 10 mile mark or something, wherever that was. And it was good. So ran that. And then about at the 13th mile, right about the halfway mark of the half marathon, it splits off. And the half marathoners, which was like 75, 80% of the people, split off, and they're going. And all of a sudden you get into this really lonely space of now you're not with the pack. It's just you and another 13.1 miles to the finish. So what would happen is I would see people up ahead of me. And at this point, my legs started to cramp, which I was like, my whole thing was like, all right, as long as my legs don't cramp, we've got this. So my legs started to cramp right above my knee. My muscles started to Charlie horse. And one of the things that I had brought with me into this race, I didn't just do the race like just, you know, carry nothing. I decided to do it with a 10-pound assault vest on. So I actually had some of my tactical gear on. So I had this 10-pound vest on. I had electrolytes. I had some BCAAs, and I had some wonderful CBD cream. And what I would do is every time my muscles really started to hurt, I would take out my CBD cream and I would rub it on my muscles, and the pain would start to subside. And it was like a really like just an awesome pick-me-up. And all of these people are stopping at these medical tents, which they have every few miles, and they're getting Tylenol, ibuprofen, they're getting Bengay, they're getting all this Tiger Balm, all this stuff put on their legs to continue to make it. And I blew past. I didn't stop at a medical tent. Finally, I got to the point where I was like, all right, my legs I just have to do something like I can manage the pain, but the cramping was really bad.
Wow.
By the time I got to about the 16th or 17th, 18th mile, it was like excruciating Charlie horse cramping if I tried to run. So I could only power walk at a fast pace. And even my power walking, though, I was passing people who were jogging. So that's the pace of power walking that I was doing. It wasn't slow. I was moving as quickly as my body would let me. just thinking, I won't tell you what my hashtag in my mind was, but it was along the lines of forget the bus. Hashtag forget the bus, but a different F word was what was going
Yes.
on in my mind.
Fudge the bus. Fudge
Yeah,
the
fudge the bus. There was no way I was letting that thing catch me. It was like that game that kids play that on phone. It's called Temple Run, where there's like this big angry monkey chasing you. That was the bus for me. So there's no way.
Wow.
So finally I stopped at my first medical tent at like almost the 20-mile mark. And I was like, just, you guys got something for cramping, like give me ibuprofen or something. So I think they gave me an ibuprofen, and that helped a little bit, like with the cramping, but I still couldn't run. But the interesting thing is that they gave me some Bengay and the Tiger Balm too. And I put that on, and after like a mile or two of that, I'm like, man, this stuff doesn't even hold a flame to the CBD. Like this, I got to tell you guys, the CBD cream, like this salve, works so much better than the Tiger Balm or the Bengay that's supposed to has that kind of like cooling. I think it's got menthol or whatever they have in it.
Mm-hmm.
So the CBD was so much. Sorry about that. So much better than that. So props to CBD and where the market is going, where the technology is going with CBD. If you're not using CBD and quality CBD, you're absolutely missing out for pain management, for helping management if you're getting cramping or different issues. I had about 7 or 8 other people try this cream as well, and it worked 100% for every single person from pain management. The other thing I did too, I'll give you this little tip. I put it on my feet before I put my socks on for the race that day. So I applied the CBD on my feet, and then about at the 18-mile mark, I stopped and I put more CBD on my feet. And I had, by the end of the race, I finished it within, this was my official time, which was like just a ridiculous, I still can't believe that I even did this. But finishing a full 26.2 miles in 7 hours, 10 minutes, and being able to get through that. And then now here we are 2 days later, so less than 48 hours. And because of the CBD, because of what we do with ABC and MFT, not only being able to finish the race, but my recovery time is ridiculously faster than what it would be otherwise. So here I am now, about 70% recovered. Yesterday was really brutal. I couldn't even walk yesterday. I was literally in a wheelchair getting pushed through the Atlanta airport last night, thinking like, all right, this is going to be interesting to get back home, get to the wellness center, and start taking some different things to start getting this back on track and see how fast we can do it. Which was another experiment that I wanted to do to see, like, all right, we got through this thing. Now let's see how fast we can recover. So did some other things yesterday, and they worked all right. Got back here today, and took some things which I'm thinking about doing a video about it sometime, or doing an educational class. Thinking about how much information I want to give out. But did some things this morning, and immediately 70% better today, able to walk. I was running up and down the stairs earlier just to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I can do this. To go from not being able to walk in last night to doing that this morning. So it's really good to know that what we're doing at Health Tabernacle not only works, and I had some people who wanted to get ABC before the race to see what it would do for their body. And every single one of them, with following up with them, are saying, I cannot believe how much better my cardio was. Cardio was no problem the entire race. Like just being able to breathe, get more oxygen each breath. What an amazing difference. So it's really good. It's always good to know, like, check yourself and make sure, okay, is what I'm doing and is what I'm preaching, does it really work? And I got news for you guys. It really works. If you can do a marathon with zero training, zero prep, I'm not a runner. I'm not a walker. I don't like running. It's like, to me, running is very boring. Like it's not the thing that I like to do. I don't train in the gym a whole lot. I did CrossFit a long time ago. I think over 7 months ago now, I stopped doing CrossFit back in June or July, and I haven't been doing it since. So since then, I only did CrossFit for 6 months. So since then, I go in the gym maybe twice a week. And it's mainly just maintaining like upper body strength, maintaining core strength,
Right.
and legs every once in a while, but mainly just doing a salt bike, a little bit of rowing, and not hard intensive stuff, just once or twice a week. Other than that, zero prep, no training for this, and came out, and it was so gratifying and satisfying to approach people off in the distance, catch them, and then I'd come up and say, "Wow, you're doing such an amazing job! Like, you got this. By the way, did you train for this?" They're like, "Yeah, I trained a ton for this," and they're breathing hard and they're like moving. And I was just like, "Wow, that's fantastic." And they were like, "How about you? You trained for this?" And I was like, "No, just decided to do this last week." and they're just like, their jaw would drop, and they're like, "And you're passing me right now?" So long story short, advanced biostructural correction really works. When you untwist your body, you can breathe so much better. You can function so much better. I was not having to stop and stretch like everybody else was and do all these things that everybody was doing to complete the marathon. And I'm not talking about the freakish people. There was one guy, he ran it in 2 hours and 28 minutes, was the top male runner. Yeah, that's a 12 mile per hour pace. That's like a full sprint for 2.5 hours. That's next level crazy. Like he's probably been running since he left the womb.
Wow. Yeah, that's some craziness,
amazing.
man.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. But for the average person, for those of you that are watching this asking like, how can I improve my body? Maybe your goal isn't to run a marathon. Maybe it's just to beat whatever illness you're struggling with right now. Or maybe it's just you want to improve your health. You can go to the gym tomorrow. You can start working away. And I encourage you to do that. But I'm telling you, if you have somebody who does advanced biostructural correction, who can really, truly align your spine and start to untwist your body, you are going to get so much more out of your workouts. You're going to get so much more out of what your body's capable of doing. You're going to be less sore. You're going to struggle less. You're going to recover faster. Your cardio is going to be better. You're getting better blood flow, better breathing all around. So don't cut yourself short. You don't have to struggle the way that everybody else is struggling around you. We have incredible technology to do this now. And it's not a difficult process. It's super simple. It's just consistent, systematic untwisting of the body.
Yes.
And man, I would love if you go and you do something like this, start getting ABC, start doing something, and you guys go out and decide, hey, I'm going to go walk a half marathon. Or I'm going to go out, I'm going to do a 5K, whatever it is that you want to do, whatever goals you have doing for your health. I would love to hear about it. Make sure, comment below. If you're watching this video, like I want you to get involved and just write, because when you put it out there and you put your why out there publicly, I put my why out there publicly, why I was doing this. I knew I wanted to raise money for fighting sex trafficking. And I also wanted to have a practice I wanted to do something to keep myself sharp and mentally tough and see what my body was capable of. I had a really strong why, and that helped carry me through. So make sure you know your why of why do you want to get healthy? Is it for your grandkids? Do you want to be able to pick your grandkids up when you're 89 years old? Like whatever it is, have that strong why as you're going through and you're writing down your goals and you're setting up your daily planning, your weekly planning for accomplishing your goals. You can do so much more than what you've been sold and what you've been told. Okay? So that's what I want to give to you. And I would encourage you, if you don't have a strong why, go find one, because there's plenty of them out there. There's plenty of people who need you and all the amazing gifts that you have. And that goes for you too, Francine. Thanks so much for these videos that you do and the value that you add to people's lives. It's incredible. And I, on behalf of everybody, I'm telling you, like, we're just so grateful for you and for what you do. And I'm really appreciative of you giving me the opportunity to come on here and talk about what's possible for people's bodies and what's capable. And honestly, we're still figuring out and discovering what we're really capable of doing. So don't cut yourself short. If you're listening to this, don't cut yourself short. There's so much more available to you than what you've been sold and what you've been told.
Yes.
So, yeah. props to you. Props to the CBD. If you're watching this and you're not familiar with CBD or you want to know more about that, Francine has some amazing information and testimonials and incredible stuff about that. So make sure you get with her and ask her about it. Because no joke, CBD 100% helped carry me through that race. Did a better job of all the other pain management stuff. I'm super impressed and super sold on it just from what I've experienced even just this last week. It just further solidified what we've been using it for in the office and now putting it out in practice. I'm blown away with it. So really appreciate it. And I appreciate you, Francine. Thank you.
Oh, Graham, man, no, thank you. And I kind of want to put this out there. You know, when Graham's worked on me with the ABC, and I had like a pretty interesting experience. I don't even think Graham expected it to happen, but some of you know I went through a mastectomy surgery, and it's pretty, I'll just say barbaric on the body. And I kind of lost like a little bit of feeling and stuff like that in my arm. And after Graham worked on me, I could feel like the blood flow and everything going through my arm. You know, I don't know how to explain it, but it kind of was like, wow, my arm came to life, you know. And when he talks about the breathing, you know, and how people breathe clearer and that people didn't have trouble with cardio or anything like that. What I found is like if you try and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and you know, you hear people do yoga and stuff say, hey, breathe deep and breathe to your stomach, you know, bring it to the bottom of your stomach. And I wasn't able to do that. And after getting the ABC, the treatment, oh my gosh, like I can do that, you know. So when I'm doing yoga, I'm like, so I'm always like, thank you, Graham. But for those of you that are in Florida in January, we're going to bring Graham to Florida. So I am so excited. So for those of you that are interested in learning more about ABC and what Graham does, it's going to be a really good opportunity because you're not going to have to travel to Pennsylvania. Graham is coming to us. How awesome is that? So please message me. It's going to fill up really quick, and we'll get you on the schedule, and we'll give you the details that we have. But Graham, I just want to thank you because you are such an example of that 2%, right? That you want to separate yourself, and you separate yourself with Health Tabernacle. You separate yourself with your goals and what you drive for. You separate yourself with how you are with your family, what a family man you are. Everything that you do and anything that you offer us, you truly live by. And your heart, your genuineness, it's like no other. And I just really want to thank you. And it's always a pleasure having you on here. And I thank you, you know, I thank you for everything that you guys have gone through, which has brought you to where you wanted to start Health Tabernacle. And you didn't just sit down and decide that, well, this is the way life's going to be. And you want to make a difference in other people's lives. And thank you. Like from the bottom of my heart, thank you, because it means a lot.
Well, you're very welcome, and I received that. Thank you.
You're welcome. And please tell your beautiful wife hello. And she's got to come on the next video.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, your viewers would have a real treat if we can get her on here. She's amazing. She's really, truly amazing.
Yes, and you did say that she was on her second bachelor's degree, but what was it? It's her PhD, right?
I think third or fourth PhD, or so. I don't know. She's like,
that was so funny.
She's way smarter than I realize sometimes, and then I really truly understand like what I'm up against with her.
You guys are an amazing team. You're an awesome team. So thank you.
I agree, and I wanted to say too that for your viewers who are down in Florida and they want to get ABC, I'm very selective with who I work with. I really truly only want to work with people that are serious about improving their body, changing their lifestyle for long-term, longevity, that they see the value in down the road, even if you're not working long-term with me, you have that value of down the road. I have a lot of offers to go all over the US, and people often will take advantage of me to get relief and get better and all this. And that's great. But really, truly, the people I want to work with are people who are really serious about really fixing their body and really making some changes. And they're tired of the same old results, the same old stuff that just keeps coming back, all that stuff. They really want to see those changes. So I'm putting a limit on this of 20 people, no more than 20 people. So if you're listening to this and you're saying to yourself, I'm one of those people, I'm tired of feeling this way, I want to change, then this is going to be those 3 days you're going to want to be with us. You're not going to want to miss it. Make sure you connect with Francine and get your spot in. And I really look forward to meeting you and hearing your story.
Awesome. Graham, seriously, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And if we don't talk beforehand, have a wonderful holiday. And tell everybody in your family I said hello.
Awesome. I will do that.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Bye-bye.